All right, guys, Lekki tollgate shooting has been trending. A lot of people have been talking about Lekki tollgate shooting, Lekki tollgate shooting. CNN released a video recently and everybody was like, man, this is a fantastic job by the CNN, because they went deep and got the attention of a lot of people, convinced a lot of Nigerians that something happened at the Lekki tollgate shooting. And this is something that the Nigerian army and most Nigerian agencies and governmental agencies, they've been denying so far. And somebody like Mohamed actually came out to say, man, we are going to sanction CNN. And I think we should watch the way we speak before we put ourselves in trouble, because you need to understand that for you to be able to do that, you have to convince the whole world that those videos by CNN, they were all lies. That is something you need to actually convince, because if you were not able to do that, I think, man, it's going to be uneasy for you. That is something I believe about that. But before I jump right in, I want you guys to kindly subscribe to this YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button below and the bell notification icon to always get notifications each time I upload my videos. But if already subscribed, thank you for subscribing, and make sure you share these videos across all social media platforms so that others will get to see what is trending and what we are talking about as a people on social media. Don't fail to drop your comment below. Alright, it's about the Lekki tollgate shooting. A lot of people are now talking about Lekki tollgate shooting, and it's all getting interesting by the end of the day. And you've got to understand that, man, a lot of people need to actually realize that sometimes when such thing happen, you have to bring out concrete evidence. At the time, the Nigerian army, they came out to say, man, they were not there. And at the time, the Lagos state government actually came out to say, yes, I never invited the Nigerian army. At the time, Nigerian army came out to say, yes, we were invited by the Lagos state governor. And that is something that has actually brought a kind of conflicting sincerity within some people, and some people are not too happy about that. Some people are not too convinced about that. And right now, CNN, they came out with a video trying to convince a lot of people that yes, we've done some kind of investigation according to what they reported, and they reported vast in details what happened at Lekki tollgate. And Mohamed actually came out to say, man, we are going to sanction CNN. And you got to understand, I watched the video, I got to understand that yes, CNN, they used their satellite image to analyze that video, engaging the services of forensic investigators. And why are you saying all those things? Do you have enough evidence to debunk what CNN has said? That is something that most Nigerians are now asking Mohamed, and it's something that is not going to be easy for Nigerian army and a lot of people to actually win. That is what I believe about that. But you have to understand what is trending right now on social media. A lot of people seems to believe every footage that came from CNN, because of how convincing that footage was. And let's watch some videos about that.
I'm showing you that right now because many of you might find it distressing. Well, CNN spoke to witnesses who said there was a second round of gunfire later that evening. Here's what one protester who had been documenting events on Instagram Live told us.
Nigeria is a dictatorship with a democratic face, and I think that is primarily to please the international communities. It is our right to protest anything that we see and change that we demand.
Well, those protests began as a movement against police brutality, but took a dark and violent turn, as we reported. Nigeria is now threatening to sanction CNN and denies that security forces shot live ammunition at protesters. Well, MLB brought us that story after weeks of in-depth research and analysis by her and her team, and she joins us now from London. Nima, how has the Nigerian government responded?
Well, our reporting, Becky, has triggered their first really significant response since the events of October 20th at Lekki tollgate. This is what the government information minister, Al-Hajj Mohamed, had to say about our reporting.
Like everyone else, I watched the CNN report yesterday. I must tell you that it reinforces the disinformation that is going around, and it is blatantly irresponsible and the poor piece of journalistic work by a reputable international news organization. CNN, which touted its report as an exclusive investigative report, sadly relied on the same videos that have been circulating on social media without verification. This is very serious, and CNN should be sanctioned for that.
Of course, Becky, that is simply not true. We used video and images that we were able to verify. We received them firsthand from contacts, witnesses, family members. We interviewed a family member who had been searching for his brother for days at that point, weeks. We were able to at least help provide him with some closure, which the Nigerian federal authorities had not been able to provide. The press conference was contradictory, and during the conference, the minister said that the federal government was satisfied with the actions of the military and the police on the night of October 20th. That's actually ahead of the findings of its own judicial panel, and those that we're speaking to are incredibly worried about what that means for the findings of that panel. Does that not exert pressure on the panel to exonerate members of the military and the police? Of course, all this is happening while people are still searching for loved ones, people are still grieving the ones they lost, and people are still no closer to answers, Becky.
I spoke to the Lagos state governor in the aftermath of the Lekki protests and incident. Have a listen to some of what he told me at that time. How many people died at the Lekki toll gate, and who was responsible for those deaths?
The number of deaths that we can attribute directly to the unfortunate, very horrific, very condemnable incident of last week Tuesday at Lekki were only two dead bodies.
Who ordered that peaceful protest at the Lekki toll gate?
Okay,
who ordered people to be shot, and which branch of security services carried out the shootings?
It seems to me that there will be men in military uniforms, right? It depicts that there are military uniform, and so there will be military officers, or soldiers as it were.
So you're saying that it was military officers who ordered peaceful protesters to be shot at Lekki?
Yeah, that's what the pictures, yes. Well, they were there, that's what the footage, that's what it shows.
And this was ahead of the judicial hearing that has been promised, and I asked the governor whether he was determined that there would be accountability. He said yes. What do we know about the current status of those hearings?
Well, that interview, Becky, we understand, sent shockwaves to the very highest level of Nigeria's government. And since then, federal authorities have backtracked. The Brigadier Taiwo, who gave evidence to the judicial panel, said that the two deaths were deaths from blunt instruments, and that those injuries were not sustained at the location at Lekki tollgate. And this is what we've seen. Different factions in the government are saying different things, and none of those people on the ground who are desperate for answers are receiving them. Even today, as the Minister of Information was carrying out that press conference, the coroner in Lagos put an ad in the newspapers, in the local press, asking for family members to come and try to identify bodies. even as the information minister in Abuja was denying that there had been any deaths. It's incredibly concerning for people in Nigeria and frankly in the international community, Becky, because it worries them that there will be really any accountability. What you saw there, what you managed to extract from the Lagos State Governor is the closest that any government official has come to admitting wrongdoing. And since then, we have reached out to Lagos State authorities and they have refused to give us any comment, Becky.
Nema Elgir on the reporting. Nema, thank you. And a reminder, in Nigeria, thousands of young people have been protesting against police brutality as part of a largely peaceful movement. It's called End SARS, and the SARS acronym is one used for a certain police squad, as it were. But on October the 20th, these protests turned deadly as the army and police moved in on unarmed civilians. The Nigerian army has called these allegations that it fired into the crowd, as you've heard, fake news, and told a judicial panel of inquiry that it did not shoot at any civilian, but Nema's investigation can reveal that that is not true. This is Nema's report. For those of you who didn't see it last night, some of the images you are about to see may be disturbing.
The Nigerian government denies this happened. A peaceful protest turned deadly.
The police came, we were peaceful. They came and started shooting at us.
CNN investigated the events at Lekki Tollgate the night of October 20th in Lagos, Nigeria. After analysing hours of footage, we are going to tell a story that is radically different than the one the authorities are telling.
Now, peaceful protest, Abi? Okay, make everybody this here. Now, where's the flag?
This is Godson. He was one of the demonstrators having fun live streaming the event. He, like many others, gathered in a peaceful demonstration of discontent. We were also able to procure Serbian export documents, proving that Nigeria purchased weaponry from Serbia for almost every year between 2005 and 2016. The shooting continued past midnight. Eyewitnesses tell us it wasn't just the army. At this point, they say police arrived and opened fire.
My head is broken, my leg is broken, and police are still shooting at us. If I don't make it through the night, let it be known I died fighting for our freedom.
So why were live rounds used at a peaceful protest? Many family members of those still missing are asking that question as they hunt for answers or the bodies of their loved ones. Elisha's brother Victor was at the protest that night.
Someone picked my brother's phone and called me and said that my brother Victor Sunday is among of those people that was shot at Lekki Tollgate. And I entered into the hospital and searched. I did not see him. And we are trying our best to just find him. But there is no way to find him.
What we're about to show you is incredibly graphic, but it's also incredibly important. This is Elisha's brother Victor. The data in this footage shows it was filmed at 1:04 a.m. at Lekki Tollgate. Elisha says he received a call about his brother's death around this time. This places Victor exactly at the location of the protest on the night witnesses say they were shot at. This is important because Nigerian authorities deny anyone was killed at the scene. Since this incident, CNN has contacted over 100 protesters and family members.
They pointed their guns at us and they started shooting.
We asked what they heard.
When we heard gunshots from behind the toll
and felt.
This is where I was shot and the bullet went through my back.
Many are in hiding. Some have fled the country. CNN tried to share these findings with the Nigerian army but received no response. Lagos State authorities would not comment on our reporting until they said a judicial panel of inquiry presents its findings. The wait for answers here continues. Nema Elgir, CNN, London.
And a statement from CNN, I will read, and I quote, "Our reporting was carefully and meticulously researched and we stand by it."
Guys, what can you actually make out of this? And I think this is indicting for Nigerian government, and they need to actually look inward and find a way to bring the people that were involved in this to book. That is one thing I believe about that. But after like Mohamed came out to say, man, we are going to sanction CNN, they lied, they did that. CNN actually gave us this video. Watch it.
Other side of the gate. As Nigerian forces get closer, you can see shots. At 6:43 p.m, we start hearing gunfire. We know this from the timestamp and data on this video. Here's another angle.
They are releasing fire. They are releasing fire.
Nigerian authorities say they fired blanks into the air and not at protest.
Guys, is this video convincing? That is something that a lot of people are now talking about on social media, and I think it's a bit interesting to actually note that yes, some people already believe this video because it has gone viral, especially in Nigerian social media space, and now everybody is busy debating that, talking about that. I think, man, is going to be an implicative video for the Nigerian army and some of the people that were involved in that. And some people are calling out the president, some people are calling out the Lagos State governor, and some people are calling out the Nigerian army because of this. And what next after this video? That is something. And you've got to understand that this video has kind of indented a particular mark or print on the minds of most Nigerians. They believe to have be convinced with a video evidence that is now gone viral on social media. But before I jump off, I want you guys to kindly subscribe to this YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button below and the bell notification icon to always get notifications each time I upload my videos. But if already subscribed, thank you for subscribing, and make sure you share these videos across all social media platforms so that others will get to see what is trending and what we are talking about as a people on social media. I love you guys.